Hello, welcome to my channel and thanks for tuning in to this video. I'm doing another Monochromatic Mondays video today. I know it's been quite a while since I've done one of these, but I thought since it's summer and it's strawberry season, it would be the perfect time to do a monochromatic strawberry look. So if you'd like to see how I put this whole look together and my thinking behind it, just keep on watching. Okay, I'm gonna go in first with bronzer. I've got my foundation and concealer on and nothing else, no powder yet or anything. I'm gonna use the Victoria Beckham bronzer and going in first to the lighter shade. Adding a little bit of warmth with this. And then going in with the smaller brush, this is the Wayne Goss Airbrush, into that darker shade for a bit more of a contour. And while I have this brush out, I'm gonna go in to that shade and just really lightly put a tiny little bit of it right in the crease. Not going to make much of a difference, but it's just going to add a tiny little bit of color onto that part of the lid. All right, and now I'm going to put a little bit of the Lisa Eldridge Elevated Glow in Crystal Nebula onto my cheeks. So I want it going all the way up the cheekbone and then also a little bit kind of right on the apples of the cheeks as well. I'm trying to go for quite a kind of juicy cheek look, so I want quite a lot of shine even on this part of the cheeks. And I'm using one of my Sonia G mini base brushes to blend that in. And I want a little bit more, so I'm just going to build another layer right on top of that. Put a little bit on the forehead too, and right at the top of the lips. Okay, I'm just gonna let that set in while I get started on the eyes. And I'm gonna be using my Victoria Beckham Cocoa liner to start off the eye look. And what I'm gonna do is basically do a line all the way across the top of the lash line and just pull it out and up a little bit. And then I'm gonna do a little bit kind of just dotted along the lower lash line as well. And then I'm gonna take my flat definer brush and blend all of that out. So really just smudging the liner on the upper lash line, pulling it out into a wing, but then also kind of pulling it up into the crease here. And then smudging on the lower lash line too. And I'm using this technique for a couple of reasons. One is to just really build the guideline for the shape that I want. Also to add in that depth and shadow that I like to have in an eye look. But also I chose the brown because it's a really good color for grounding some brighter colors. So I'm planning to put red on my eyes, and I think it really can help when you have like reds or pinks, even oranges, really any kind of colorful shadow, to have a more neutral grounding color there to balance it out and just help to pull the whole look together, really. I'm not saying I always do that, but in times that I haven't done it, I've kind of regretted not having more of a grounding brown base. So I'm trying to build it right from the beginning of the look here. It's also nice when you're using a shimmery shadow all over the lid, which is what I'm planning to do today. I'm going to use a few shadows actually, but they're all shimmery and kind of a little bit sheer. To put them on top of a darker base like this and a sort of creamy base, although this does set down, but it takes a while, so it'll still remain a little bit tacky, I think, while I'm working with my powder shadows. That can really help to amplify and show off the different shimmers and glitter shades that you have going on. Okay, so there's the basic shape created with the liner, and now I want to start building in those powder shadows. This one is from Clionadh and it's called Emboss. So you can see it's got sort of that coral red flipping to a little bit of a, almost like a white gold, greeny gold kind of shade, which I thought would be perfect for a strawberry look. And then I also have this one from Touch of Glam Beauty. It's called Maneater. And it's another shimmery red with a little bit of a lighter kind of green gold flip to it. So they're kind of similar shades. This one's a little bit more pigmented and less sheer, whereas the Clionadh is a little bit more sheer. I think what I'll do is I'll grab my Rephr 21 brush and I'm gonna go into this one right here and try this one out on the outer part of the lid. And then I'll kind of gradate into the slightly more sheer, slightly lighter shade. Then I'm gonna put a sparkly whitish gold shade on the inner corner. When you think of strawberries, they really come in all different shades of red, you know, depending on the ripeness and which part of the fruit you're looking at. So you can go from, you know, an almost maroon kind of purpley red when they're very ripe to more of a true straightforward red, kind of like the color of my earrings when they're at that perfect ripeness. And then you can also see them almost like an orange color or a corally kind of red when they're a little bit less ripe. So this one is showing up almost as kind of like a pinky, purpley kind of red here. All right, now I'm going into Emboss, that Clionadh shade, onto the other half of the eye. You can see you're really getting that greeny gold showing up a lot more than the red when it's placed on the eye on top of that brown. I'm gonna pull that a little bit on top of that other red shade, just kind of pulling it into that territory, diffusing it through there. And I'm actually gonna grab another red shadow, and it's this one from the Viseart Coy Palette. The shades in this palette, I think were really meant to be topper shades. I like to use them for just main eyeshadow colors as well, but they work great as topper shades. So I'm just putting that shade over top of everything. I like the dimensionality you can get from layering lots of different shadows. So now I'm going to take, I think, what will be my last eyeshadow, which is the Victoria Beckham Blonde Lid Lustre. It's this really beautiful white that shifts to a yellowy, greeny gold. And then I'm gonna put it a little bit over the inner part of the lid too. And I'll just sweep it over the brow bone. Just gonna add a little bit more of that brown liner, the lash line. Then I'm gonna do my waterline, I'm gonna do my mascara, and I'll be back to finish off the rest of the face and the whole look. All right, I started putting the blush on and didn't realize I wasn't recording. So I've just gone in with a combination of these two cream blushes from Salt New York. This one is Tangerine and this one is Cranberry. And I just find that together they make a really beautiful red color. And I just used the same brush that I used for blending in that highlight, went between the two colors and just sort of patted that onto the cheeks. I'm gonna be topping this with a powder blush as well, but I wanted to get the nice little cream base down. Now I'm going in with powder blush and I'm using the Chanel Fleurs de Printemps. This one, it's funny how different people see this shade differently. A lot of people describe this one as kind of a burnt orange terracotta shade, but to my eye and like on my skin tone, I find it's more of a coral red shade, this one. So I think this is perfect to go with that strawberry theme. And then this one just plays so nicely with it and adds a really beautiful illumination to the whole look. So I'm gonna start with this one, and then I'm probably gonna top it off with the lighter shade a little bit. I have a little bit of irritation on my cheek right there, so that's not the blush at all that's doing that. It's just a little redness from my skin. And going into the lighter shade here. I do want really quite a blushy look. I think it just works for this theme. And now I'm finally gonna put a little bit of setting powder on. I'm using this Sisley powder again. And just going to dust that on my nose, under my eyes, and through the T-zone. And just topping it off a little bit, I'm just gonna mix the two blush shades together now, just to reinforce that color and a little bit of that shine where I might have gotten some powder on. For a little bit of extra glow on the cheeks, I'm going into my two Salt New York cream highlighters, shades Pearl and Beige. I'm just doing a really light tap on the cheeks with that. All right, now it's time to take my hair down, and then I'm gonna go through some different lip options and apply my lips. So for the lips, I've pulled 5 different options, and I'm just gonna swatch them all and show you what they are. So the first one I have here is Charlotte Tilbury Sexy Sienna. And I think that's just a beautiful coral red shade, and it's not too bright, but it still has a great impact and vibrancy when you put it onto the lips. Next, I'm gonna show you Atomic Cherry from Lisa Eldridge. I think this is the one that I'm gonna wear, but I'm aware that it's not in stock right now, and so that's why I wanted to provide a number of different alternatives for the lips. So there's Atomic Cherry, and it's very similar actually to Sexy Sienna now that I'm seeing them up next to each other. Sexy Sienna has more pink in it, and it's a matte finish, whereas Atomic Cherry is a sheer, slightly shiny finish, and it's just a little bit more reddish than Sexy Sienna, but you can get very similar impact from either one of those. And then I'm gonna go into some gloss options. So Tower 28 Spicy, an excellent red gloss, more of a true red than the two other shades there. Then next I have the Lisa Eldridge gloss in Ribbon, which is still available on her website. And that's an even more pigmented and opaque gloss than the Tower 28, but also in that sort of more true red category, actually with a little bit of blue base to it. So that's gonna look more like a very ripe strawberry with that color. And then the last one I have here is the Fenty Gloss Bomb Heat, and it's the shade, I think, Hot Cherry. Yeah, Hot Cherry. And that one is, it is still kind of like a pinky red, but it's more sheer than the other two glosses. And it does definitely plump up the lips a little bit. I personally don't really love the feeling of it, and the smell of this one is not my favorite either. It's a different scent from the other cream gloss bombs. Little bit, it almost smells kind of like cherry medicine to me, so I don't love the scent of that, but it does look beautiful on the lips and would also be a good option for finishing off this whole look. But I'm gonna go in with the Atomic Cherry. And here's the completed look. I want to mention my earrings too. These are from Glimmer Peach on Etsy. She also has an Instagram. I'm going to link her Etsy shop below. And I actually found out about her through another YouTube creator, Olivia. She has a bunch of the Glimmer Peach earrings, and she's been doing this series on Instagram. She's done a couple of them on her YouTube too, which are earrings inspired looks, really colorful and fun earrings, and she will create different makeup looks based on a particular pair of earrings. So I found out about Glimmer Peach through her, and you can check her out. She does lots of really beautiful creative makeup looks. So I think that's it for me for today. Let me know if you have any comments or questions below, and if you'd like to see more from me and you haven't subscribed to my channel already, I'd really love for you to do so. Thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.